Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I am Kedar, and on this channel we talk about design, architecture, parametric design and generative AI. And the last 2 weeks in the realm of Gen AI have been totally crazy with the introduction of Gemini 2.5 Flash Image aka NanoBanana and Seedream 4.0. Earlier I had planned to make a video comparing FluxKontext, QwenImageEdit and NanoBanana, and the day I was recording the video, Seedream 4.0 came in, so I was like, I need to add this as well. So in this video we're comparing all of these 4 models, which is Flux.1 Kontext, QwenImageEdit, NanoBanana and Seedream 4.0, and to limit the length of this video, I'll be only testing the capabilities of these 4 models for single image editing. In the next video, we'll be looking at how these models perform with multiple image editing. And before we see how these models are trained or how to use them in ComfyUI and some of the examples that I've created, I wanted to give you all a quick conclusion so that you can go out and use all of these models right away. And this is my conclusion 1. Again, this is only limited for single image editing. And the first point is they are almost the same. Yes, I say almost being the keyword because of course one model will excel at one thing and the other won't, but they are not so different. The social media puts it that this is the new model. They're really almost the same, and we'll see later on with the examples that I've created as well. So when to use which model? If you want a high resolution output model, go with Seedream 4.0 because its base resolution is 2048 by 2048. If you want an all-rounder model, really an all-rounder model that does everything, go with NanoBanana. The only thing, your output will be of low quality, but yes, we can always upscale it. The only drawback I see of both of these two models is that because they are not open weights, your data will be shared with either of the company, and that does not mean it's a bad thing. You just have to be mindful of what you want to share and that being stored in their servers. So just be mindful of what images you want to share while using Seedream and NanoBanana. If you want to use totally local in-house solution, go with QwenImageEdit, and trust me, you will see in the later examples, it does compete with Nano and Seedream as well. And the only reason to use FluxKontext right now is if you're tied into Flux ecosystem where you're using FluxDev, FluxSnell, FluxRedux, because you don't want to download the text encoder or VAE again. That's the only time I would really recommend FluxKontext. If you want to do things locally, go with QwenImageEdit right now. Okay, and that's it. That is the end of the video. I'm just kidding. But this was my quick conclusion, and now let's see how these models are trained and some of the examples that I have created. Now let's compare all of these 4 models side by side. So FluxKontext, I'm calling it as the original in comparison to the rest of the 3 models. FluxKontext came in May 2025 and was developed by Black Forest Labs, who are the people behind all the Flux models. Now because this is open weights, you can use it freely on your computers, and the base resolution is going to be 1024 by 1024, and this is only useful for image editing. If you know Flux, they have specific model for each of the tasks. If you want image editing, you need to use FluxKontext. And then we have QwenImageEdit, which I'm calling this ignored middle child because it came in and after 2 weeks NanoBanana came in, so we all really ignored Qwen. And this is developed by Alibaba team that came in August this year, and again this has open weights, so you can use it for free on your computer. The base resolution is 1328 by 1328, and again similar to Flux, this is only useful for image editing because similar to Flux, again we have separate models in Qwen for image generation, image editing and things like that. And then we have NanoBanana, the new kid on the block, which is developed by Google DeepMind, again came in August. And this price is per image via API inside ComfyUI, which is 0.039 or 3.4 INR. The base resolution is 1024 by 1024, and this is good both for image generation and image editing. Then we have Seedream, which is also the new kid on the block, which is developed by ByteDance, the parent company of TikTok, that came in September 2025, literally last week. And per image, the cost is $0.03 or 2.65 INR. Again, this is via API inside ComfyUI, and the base resolution is doubled than NanoBanana, that is 2048 by 2048. And this, similar to NanoBanana, is good for image generation and image editing. Okay, and these are the base differences between all of these 4 models. We will see the detailed training process comparison later on. So I was going through Google's developer blog, and here I found a chart comparing Gemini 2.5 Flash Image, GPT 4.0, Flux.1 Kontext Max, QwenImageEdit and Gemini 2.0 Flash Image, and clearly they are saying that NanoBanana is really way better than all this model apart from stylization. and I have to 100% agree with this. You will see in the later on test, I have developed an in-house method of ranking all of these models, so stay tuned. And when they released this, Seedream 4.0 was not released. So in the Seedream 4.0 website, this is what their comparison is right now. And while we are more interested into single image editing, what was interesting to me, in text to image, there is no mention of Flux. And in single image editing, there is no mention of QwenImageEdit. So really sometimes I wonder how these comparisons are made. But clearly from their comparison, you see Seedream and Gemini 2.5 are fighting for each other's life. And FluxKontext is really lacking behind. And then I went through the artificial analysis website, which kind of lists or gives a leaderboard chart for all of the models. So this one is focusing on image editing. And this one is all the models, where clearly you see Seedream right now is winning by hardly, I don't know, maybe 6 points. This might clearly change. Maybe Gemini might come first, Seedream might come again. Again, like I said, they're battling for their life. But on the other hand, when you compare for open weights, clearly QwenImageEdit is winning by a lot of margin than compared to all the models. So like I said earlier in my conclusion as well, if you want to work locally on your computer, use QwenImageEdit and not FluxKontext. Okay, and now let's see what all of these 4 models offer, and this is according to them. I've only copy pasted the text. So FluxKontext is good for character consistency. Right now it is not so much. Interactive speed, which again all of them can do. Iterative application, all of them can do. Qwen says it's good for superior text rendering. I think I need to give it to Qwen for doing text really well, and you will see later on in the text. Consistent image editing, all of them can do. Strong cross benchmark performance, subjective. NanoBanana maintain character consistency, really good for characters. NanoBanana class. Prompt based image editing, all of them can do. Native world language, all of them have. Multi image fusion, yes, all of them have, but we'll see this later in the next video. Seedream 4.0 offers batch input and output, we'll see next video. Prompt based editing, all of them have. Versatile style, all of them have. Knowledge driven generation, all of them have. So clearly what they are saying is the key selling point of all of these 4 models, all of them have the same key selling point. And that is why I was saying in the earlier conclusion, they are almost the same. I have to give NanoBanana because it is really good for character, and I have to give Qwen because it's really good for text. Apart from that, they are almost the same. Okay, I don't know how many of you are going to hate me for saying this, but really I'm just copy pasting their own text, and you see all of them have listed the same thing as the key selling point. Okay, and now quickly see the difference between training process of all these 4 models. Before directly jumping into it, I want to give a quick disclaimer. I did not find a technical report on Seedream 4.2. So instead of Seedream 4.0, I'm using Seedream 3.0 only to compare the training process. The later images that I'll be showing are from Seedream 4.0 itself. And similarly, I did not find a technical report on Gemini 2.5 Flash image, which is NanoBanana. I instead found a model card, which kind of gives the overall understanding of the training process, but does not touch details. Okay, and with that disclaimer, let's see the differences. So the first step is always going to be the data collection. Now for FluxKontext, you're going to use triplets of what is the main image, what is the target, and what is your prompt. I will link my FluxKontext video so you understand better of what I am saying in this case. With QwenImageEdit, you have a multitask training. So you have your prompt plus image. You have sometimes only images for reconstruction. And in our case, which is image editing, they again have triplets of main image, prompt, and target image. NanoBanana does not really specify how it is setting up the training data set, but all they say is that a large-scale diverse collection of web documents, code, images, audio, and video. And with Seedream 3.0, it's a double Seedream 2.0 dataset. So I was like, what does this mean? So I went through the Seedream 2.0 paper, which says large amount of high-quality images, image text pair of Chinese character, because it's also trained on Chinese language. Okay, then coming to the data filtration process, which I think is really important for all of these models. While FluxKontext only uses classifier filter, which means block unsafe content, that is non-consensual intimate imagery and child sexual abuse material, anything that is NSFW content. With QwenImageEdit, you have a 7-stage filtration process for quality, balance, rotation, blurry images. You can read the details here. Okay, before I go ahead, whatever is in this white box is from the research paper. Whatever is out of it is my representation or my understanding of it. And with NanoBanana, they say they are using deduplication, which means removing duplicate images, following safety protocol according to Google's rules. and quality filtering. And the interesting one was in Seedream, which is something that I learned new, which says defect aware. Now what does that mean? Now let's say you have 100% of the image. This defect aware kind of understands how much percent of the image is bad. And if it is less than 20%, they are going to use it in the training set. If it is more than 20%, they're going to remove it from the training set. And that is why they were able to double the training data from 2.0 to 3.0. And apart from that, they're going to use dual axis sampling, which basically means to have different variety of styles. Okay, so this is with data setup and data filtering. Then comes resolution handling, and this determines what is the base resolution of the model. Now with FluxKontext, all of these images are encoded, it goes in the latent space for training. With QwenImageEdit, it has multi-scale training at 640p and 1328p. That is why the base resolution of Qwen is 1328. And again, of course, all of this goes in the latent space for diffusion. I did not find anything related to NanoBanana in this case. And for Seedream, it uses mixed resolution training, first at 256, then fine-tuned at 512, and then at 2048. That is why the base resolution of Seedream 4.0 is 2048. So understanding from research paper helped me really understand what is the output I'm going to get and what am I looking for before directly jumping in. So I will never use FluxKontext to 2048. I will never use Seedream to 1024 because it is going to 2048 resolution. So that is why I like to read research papers. I don't know why I'm explaining myself, so it's fine. Then coming to the training process. Now apart from NanoBanana, all three of them use flow match training. Now if you know a general diffusion process, you have your prompt, you have your image, and to the image a noise is added, and with respect to the prompt as a guide, the noise gets removed. Now with flow matching, what happens is that you have your text, you have your blurry or pixelated noised image, and you also have your target image. So it's easy for AI to directly get a shortcut from this noised image to a clear image using again prompt as a guidance. And it really is useful in image editing case because you're already inputting triplets of original image, target image, and prompt. So it makes sense to use flow matching training. Apart from NanoBanana, who is using mixture of experts training. And if you remember, where did we hear mixture of experts first? Was for WAN 2.2, where it was using one expert for high noise to understand overall structure of the video, and the second expert for low noise, which was adding more details to it. NanoBanana doesn't really specify how they're going to call out the expert. They only say depending upon what the user used, that expert is going to come to have a model that is time and cost efficient. So that is the training process that has been used. Again, that's why I said almost everything is similar in my earlier conclusion. In the next step, we'll again see some differences, which is alignment tricks. Now what happens sometimes, or you might have noticed, when you input an image and the output that you get, they might not be aligned. Sometimes the image moves up, image moves down, or they are not aligned to the input prompt that they use. And this is where alignment tricks come in. And in case of FluxKontext, they are using something called as 3D ROPE, which basically is rotary position embedding for text and image tokens. So basically they're going to see text and image side by side so that they find alignment between them. Now in case of QwenImageEdit, something interesting is happening. They are using dual encoding with text encoder and VAE, where one understands the overall structure and the other understands fine tuning. And this was really interesting to me when I was working with ComfyUI, when generally in ComfyUI your model directly goes in text encoder. In this case, the text encoder also has an input for VAE and image. And I really find it interesting when the research paper that they publish really gets implemented and you can see as a user, which is really nice. And you will see that in the output, where in FluxKontext things move up, down, left, right. Qwen, it stays consistent to the input image. With NanoBanana, it just says fine tuning. I'm not sure what the fine tuning means. I'm assuming it is instruction paired with correct output. And with Seedream 3.0, it is also using ROPE but cross modality, which basically means they're going to line up the word and the picture to get a perfect matching, and then you get the output. And then we have post-training process, which is really important. Apart from FluxKontext, remaining three uses fine-tuning and RLHF, where RLHF stands for reinforcement learning through human feedback. What does this mean? So when a model is trained, it is given to a lot of humans to test it, and if they don't get satisfactory result, it goes back in the training process. And I like that. I read about RLHF last year sometime, end of year, and I am happy to see it being implemented in this training process. And then with FluxKontext, they are using something called as adversarial diffusion distillation to get faster result without losing quality. This is not in depth. This is an overall understanding of the training process. There is a lot of formulas and everything that is there in the research paper. Of course, if you're interested, you can read it. But this is for me understanding why the images are trained that way and why we get those particular outputs. And lastly, coming to the image generation. Now, apart from NanoBanana, who doesn't really say what diffusion method or are they actually using diffusion method, the rest of the three add a random noise, and with the help of flow matching, that noise is removed and you get the output. Okay, so that is the training process difference in all of these four models. Just to compare, apart from NanoBanana, all other use flow matching training. NanoBanana is using mixture of experts. The data setup and data filtration remains the key difference between all these models, showing the importance of data that goes in, and that's how the model you get. And then resolution alignment also differs for each of the model, where resolution helps to get a clear, high resolution and sharper image, while alignment tricks help to have better understanding of words to the image, and also the image does not move up and down, left and right. And lastly, the Seedream, Qwen and NanoBanana all use human feedback in the post-training process, which I think is really important. Flux skips that and instead applies adversarial diffusions for speed. And I was thinking maybe having human in the loop is really good for AI model training. But that is what the differences between all of these four models is. If you take a zoom out, you will see all of these are really same. I don't know, maybe it's my understanding of how they are same. Of course, technically they will be different, but overall I feel like all of them are same, the training process, apart from NanoBanana, which is using a mixture of experts. Yes, there is a slight difference in data filtration and things like that, but overall I see them as super same. Now let's go to the next step. Now that we have done with the technical part, let's see some of the fun things that we can do with these models. So the first step is we need to install some of the models in ComfyUI, and to do that we need to first add credits, because NanoBanana and Seedream need some money, otherwise it will not run. So first let's add some credit. So when you log into ComfyUI, if you see a profile picture here, that means you have logged in. If you don't see a profile picture here, then you need to go to the C icon on the top left hand side. If you click on it, from there go to settings. When you go to settings, go to users, and there you will see sign in or sign up. You can sign up with Google or any other account you want, and then you will see my name and I have logged in. And now to add credits, then go to your profile picture, click on it. From there you will see your name here, and now you see I have $3.84 here already. Then I can say top up. Once I say top up, this window will open up, and then you can select how much money you want to add. I will say add $5. Once I say this, it will go to a payment transaction page where I can add all the codes, and then payment successful, money deducted, you are good to go with Seedream and NanoBanana. So if I go back to ComfyUI, now you see I have $8.84 because I added $5, okay? And the version of Comfy that I'm running right now is 0.3.59, which has Seedream API, NanoBanana API, everything available. So if you are on this same version that I am in, you will be able to access all the models that I'll be showing you today. Now first, let's start with Seedream 4.2. If you don't want to work with any of these models on ComfyUI, I'm also listing other websites where you can work with these models. So to access Seedream 4.2, you can go to a website called LM Arena. So you can type LM Arena in Google, and this is the website that you need to go to. So when you go to the website here, you don't need to necessarily log in. It allows you free tests for some time. First, you need to change this battle to direct chat. Once you change to direct chat, you will see all the text models. We don't want text model, we want image model. So you need to click on image here. Once you click on image, now you will see Gemini 2.5 Flash image preview or even Seedream 4. So I'm going to select Seedream 4. Once you have selected the model, then you can simply hit plus, select the image that you want. I'm selecting this residential image, and I'm saying the prompt, convert this architectural render into a night view with artificial lighting illuminating it, and boom, you get it. As simple as that, okay? So if you don't want to use Seedream through ComfyUI, you can use it through LM Arena. Seedream does not have its own website of image generation. That's why I'm showing you through LM Arena. And then if you want to use it to ComfyUI, basically via an API, all you need to do is you need to click on templates. From here, go to image API. From here, you go to Seedream 4.2, which like I said, cost $0.03 per image. Once you take this is what you need. It is super simple. All you need to do is add your image, add your prompt, then change the resolution that you want. The rest of the things you don't even need to touch. For example, here I am adding my image, and I will say give this man black sunglasses and a blue suit. Voila. Do I look good or no? So this is how you can use Seedream in ComfyUI. Super simple, takes $0.03 or 2.65 rupees, and boom, your image is done. And like I said, the base resolution is going to be 2048 by 2048. Now this is little bit in the ratio of 3:4. That's why it's going to be 728 by 2304. So that is how you can use Seedream 4.2 through website in LM Arena and through API in ComfyUI. Now let's see for NanoBanana. So Google has a website which is called Google AI Studio. So if you type this is the website that you want. Ideally, you will need to be logged in to use NanoBanana. Again, it works with tokens. I have really not exhausted the tokens, so you can use it free also for some time. And then you can say try NanoBanana here. Once you click on it, then these settings will open up. Then you can say plus and you can say upload your image. Again, I'm uploading the same image, saying convert this architectural render in night view, press enter, and boom, you get your image. As simple as that. Now with Google AI Studio, you do see a watermark here, which you don't see in ComfyUI. So let's see how to use NanoBanana in ComfyUI, which is again going to be via API. There is so many eyes, so many words. My God, they're all so same. How do people remember all these words? It's insane. Anyway, so again, going back to ComfyUI, going to templates, then in this case, again, image API, and then we'll go to Google Gemini image. And if you click on it, this is a workflow that you get. Again, super simple, very similar to Seedream 4.2. I wish they had added an option of resolution or aspect ratio here, which would have been nice to see. But anyway, again, the same, I will add my image and say, give this man black glasses and a blue suit, and boom. Done. Super simple, very nice, and that's how you use NanoBanana inside of Google AI Studio and ComfyUI. Now coming to QwenImageEdit. Now Qwen has its official website again, so you can type QwenImageEdit in Google. Go to this particular website. Now here it is very simple. You first need to be logged in, then upload image that you want. I will upload again the same house, same prompt, enter, image generate. And with ComfyUI, things are different because we have open weight, so you can use this free. We don't need to pay any money. So if you go to ComfyUI, you go to templates and then you say image. And now the one that we want is QwenImageEdit. And like I was saying earlier in the presentation, Qwen similar to Flux has different model for control net, image generation and things like that. What we want is QwenImageEdit, and once you click on it, this is the workflow you get. Now you need to download few models. So first, let's see what we need to download. So from the model link that ComfyUI gives you, I would recommend you to download the Distill LoRa, which will help to have a faster generation time. You will have to download the text encoder because it is different than Flux. And you have to also download the VAE. But I would not recommend you to download this diffusion model because it is 19 GB. I have 16 GB VRAM and we can download a GGUF model similar to WAN 2.2. And to access the GGUF model, you can go to this particular website which has all the GGUF model for QwenImageEdit. I have downloaded this 9.68 GB Q3KM model. If you don't know which GGUF model to download for your computer, I made a video I think couple of weeks back and I can link it here. You can see that video to understand which GGUF model works for your computer. And once you have downloaded it, this is what the workflow looks like. So this is the final QwenImageEdit workflow. Again, like I was saying, the training process, the image and VAE goes in the text encoder. So first you upload your image, whichever image you want. Then you have your prompt, including your text encoder. By now we know what text encoder is. Then you have your case sampler, model, Distill LoRa, and you have your output. Amazing. It's the same photo of mine and the same prompt. Give this man black sunglasses and a blue suit, and this is the result. And now let's look at FluxKontext. Again, a quick run through because we've already seen FluxKontext. So to access it through a website, you can go to Flux Playground. So if you type in Google BFL Playground, which is basically Black Forest Lab Playground, you can click on this website. And here first you need to agree the terms and then sign in. Once you have signed in, then instead of generate, click on edit because we want editing. Then you need to upload the image and the prompt. Again saying convert this sketch into a render. Now in this case, you can select whether you want Kontext Pro or Max number of images, and then press enter and you get the output. One thing to note, FluxKontext was free earlier. It used to give you some credits. Now it is not. You need to add minimum $10 to it. I would not recommend you do that. Even if you want to use FluxKontext through API, rather add $5 in ComfyUI because here the minimum is $10. You can add less in ComfyUI and then you can test different models as well. That's my personal suggestion. Now let's see how to use FluxKontext in ComfyUI because it has open weights. Now if you go in templates inside ComfyUI, in that you press Flux here, and then here you will see something called as FluxKontext dev. Click on it and you will see this workflow. It looks very complicated. Please, ComfyUI team, if you are listening, please simplify these workflows. These are really confusing. You can just make them in simple line graphs. I don't know. Please, if you want, you can hire me. If it's interesting, I can do that. But anyway, let's see what to download. So from model links, I would recommend you to download the AE safe tensors. And if you're already using Flux, you will already have AE safe tensors. Then download ClipEye. Don't download T5XXL. Download T5XXL FP8, which is a scaled down version, which is around 4.8 GB. Do not download the Flux dev version, which is again 11 GB. Rather, we will download the GGUF model. To access the GGUF model, you can use this link. Of course, I will link all of this in the description. Don't worry. I will be downloading, or I have downloaded the Q6K, which is 9.85 GB. Again, if you don't know how to download or which GGUF model to download for your computer, please refer to my earlier video that I made 2 weeks back. And this is how the FluxKontext workflow looks like, where basically you add your image, you add your prompts, then you have your case sampler plus your GGUF model and your output. Okay. And like I was explaining in my presentation, there is always this alignment issue with Flux. Either it moves up, down, left, right. You see, now in this case, it has reduced the size of my face. I don't know why. Really, FluxKontext is lacking right now. And this is image comparison. Okay, and now let's see the output from all of these 4 models. So my same image, give this man black sunglasses and a blue suit, and these are the results. Okay, at first go, if I would share this output, you would not understand which model is what. Yes, FluxKontext, you understand a little bit. The rest of the 3, you would be like, okay, this might be generated by any of these models. So that's why I said in the earlier presentation, they are almost the same. But if I had to choose, in this case, I don't like the suit of a NanoBanana. I love the suit of QwenImageEdit, but I like how in NanoBanana, my eyes are seen internally. So it has to be a combination of Qwen and Nano for this particular example. Now let's quickly see how to do all of these 4 workflows inside ComfyUI. Okay, so I've started ComfyUI, and now let's see how those 4 models work inside of ComfyUI. So first, let's start with NanoBanana, the simplest one. So you go to templates, you say image API, then you say Google Gemini image, and here all you need to do is either add prompt or add image plus prompt. So first I will unplug the image. I will simply add a prompt. I'm going to say elevation of a curved residence in the urban streets of Barcelona with Sagrada Familia in the background. Okay. And you need to have some credits. So if I click on my profile photo, you will see I have $2.29 and then I can run this. Now with NanoBanana, you can't really select a resolution or aspect ratio. But let's see the result. I'm glad it didn't show Sagrada Familia completed, but this is a good result. It's a bit blurry because it is 1024 by 1024, but we can always upscale it. And for text to image, NanoBanana still works. Okay, now let's take another example. So I'm gonna take this photo and I'm going to try to do that famous social media thing that's going on, where of the photo you have a scaled model, behind there is a computer, in Blender you see the same photo, and there is a box on which there is this photo again. So the same prompt I just copy pasted here, and now let's see the result. I really wish for NanoBanana there was a way we could change the aspect ratio. Would have made things really interesting, and that's the result. You have the architecture, you have a box with architecture image, and then you have a computer inside of which Blender is there, and then there is architecture. Clearly, there's a good job. Okay, now let's check one more. So it's really simple to work with it. There is no rocket science. Super simple. One thing to remember, whatever you are sharing right now is going to be stored in somebody's server. So please be mindful of it. I feel not right now, but later this is going to be really important. Okay. Now what do I say for myself? Just to check character consistency. So I'm saying this, create a character sheet of this man keeping his face intact. The name of the character is Kedar Undare. And now let's see what it does. And this is a character sheet. So what are my abilities? Agility, didn't mark man. Survivor skills, charisma 7, agility 5, but it's good. Nice. I'm glad I remain the same. Okay. So it's simple. You can use this to do anything that you want, really. You know, any social media trends or anything. Now let's do the same thing for Seedream. So I'm going to go to templates, going to go to image API, going to take Seedream, going to add the same Barcelona prompt. So adding the same prompt. Now this in Seedream, what I like is that you can change the aspect ratio. So I can really select which aspect ratio I want, or I can also go to custom and add my own width and height. So that I really like and appreciate. And this is really good. I don't like the architecture. Okay, maybe I should have prompted a little bit more, but I guess that's fine. and then Sagittarius family in the background looks really good. Now the next image, let me bypass this with Control B. The next image was this with the scaled model, computer in the background, and let's see how Seedream performs with that. I forgot to connect the image to image. Damn it, 0.30 cents gone for mapping. Hey, but it did a good job, man. Underestimating Seedream. It also added Blender here. Yeah, and it did. I don't know, the Blender is cut, but it did make this into a scale model. There is a box behind with the photo. We can do another iteration, it will do it, but I don't want to waste more credits on it. And the last example was this one where I said create a character sheet. What in the hell? Okay, clearly Seedream did not understand what I was saying. This is create a character sheet. There's no sheet, this is character. Okay, it's like a Pixar character, but that's fine. Okay, but anyway, the point of this is to just show you how to work with Seedream NanoBanana. Now let's go with QwenImageEdit. So I'm gonna go to templates again. In this case, I go to image, I say QwenImageEdit, and if you have downloaded everything, you can simply select the model. So right now, VAE, I said QwenImage. I also have downloaded this. I will go detailed in understanding of this workflow in the next video. Right now, let's just add whatever we have. I've also downloaded the distill LoRa. So I'm gonna select this one, which is a 4-step LoRa, but I have not downloaded diffusion model. Instead, I have a GGUF model. So I'm gonna double click and say GGUF model, and in this case, this one. And now here, if you read, it will tell you if you have using a 4-step LoRa, it says steps 4 CFG 1. So I'm gonna keep the steps to 4 and CFG to 1. Okay, and that's it. Now right now, let's not connect the image to image. So this is here. Please, people at Comfy, you need to really, make things easier. So let's not connect image to image because I want to see text to image. So I'm going to add this prompt, but in this case, we need to add empty latent image because we are not connecting the image. So I say 1328 by 1328 and I connect this to the latent. Okay, and if everything is connected, we will run this. See, if you just keep things like this, it's easier for anybody to understand. Yeah, and you see the image is generating, so it works for text to image as well. Okay, and that is the output. To be honest with you, I liked this output better than NanoBanana. Really, it looks good. I like how realistic it looks. Let me take the output from NanoBanana. Yeah, this was the result from NanoBanana and this is from Qwen. And I think you can choose. Yes. Somebody will say that this Sagittarius family is on this building. I understand this is the first iteration. Maybe I make 1 or 2 iterations and it look better, but still good for text to image. There is a dedicated Qwen model for it, which when I make a Qwen video, I will test it. Now let me take the image. So the second prompt was this one. And how much time did that took? So that took, come here, sir. That took 65 seconds, close to a minute. Not bad. Not bad for 1328 by the 1328 resolution. So I can simply connect now the latent to latent because my resolution is going to come from the image and not from this empty latent because I'm using image to image. And then this image has to go to both of these and then you adjust the prompt. It's really simple. It's just the way that these workflows are kept in a very complicated manner that it's really hard to understand. If things are neat, nicely done, it's easier for anybody to learn and understand any of these workflows. See, much easier to understand where what is going. Oh yeah, even Qwen is able to do that. So it's not really a NanoBanana thing, man. Really, I'm telling you, you will be surprised working with Qwen model. By the way, nobody's paying me. Nobody is paying me. Neither Qwen is paying me nor Comfy. Nobody's paying me to tell that which is good, which is bad. Just putting it out there. Oh yeah. Really good. Way better than Seedream. Let me pull out the output from Seedream. Let's keep this here. Rayu sir. Yeah, this was the result from Seedream. This is way better. Yes, I understand. Somebody will pinpoint that here also it's an image, but that is fine. At least it did a correct small miniature version of it. Okay. And now the last prompt, which was character, and I will run this. And the earlier one took around 65 seconds. So same 65 seconds. Well, clearly Qwen does not understand what character sheet is, similar to Seedream. So I don't even want to let it run. but I guess it's fine. It's just adding my name. But anyway, this is simple QwenImageEdit workflow. Now let's look at FluxKontext. So again, go to templates, go to Flux. Now here you say context dev, and this is fine. I'm gonna delete all of this. I don't like this. I don't want this. I don't want this. I'm going to take a simple load image. Right now I need to select the VAE. Then in this case it has dual clip encoders. I already have both of those, and I'm not using this diffusion model. I'm using a GGUF model. So I say GGUF, which is load unit, and in this case I have a FluxKontext Q6K which goes here. I will delete user. So I will on this and I will connect this to the latent because we want first text to image. So I'm going to copy the prompt, Control C, Control V. In this case, you have to wait for 20 steps because there is no distill LoRa for this. But let me run this and see what we get. Okay. And this is the result from FluxKontext. Clearly did not understand Sagrada Familia, but with Flux you have a separate model for text to image, so that's fine. Now let's see image to image. So this goes here, this goes here, and then I need to upload an image. And for FluxKontext, it took around 62 seconds. Again, similar, close to a minute. Yep. Something is happening. So this trend is clearly not just for NanoBanana. You can use it for Qwen. You can use it for FluxKontext. All of them work, man. But yeah, anyway, that's mostly it for the workflow for FluxKontext, QwenImageEdit, NanoBanana, and Seedream 4.0. It's very simple. Just take the simple workflow that's there in the template with ComfyUI, add a prompt, add an image, and you are good to go. There is nothing to change. Only for Qwen and FluxKontext you can add a GGUF model using this one node, which is unit loader GGUF. Rest everything remains the same. No need to change anything. Only for Qwen you need to change the steps to 4 and CFG to 1. Rest everything remains the same. Okay, so let's see the result from this. Almost done. Yeah, really good. Similar. Let's take the Qwen output. So this is Qwen. This is context. Yes, Qwen is way better understanding this model to convert into a scaled model. But yeah, the trend does not limit to NanoBanana. The trend is there everywhere. And I'm sure character sheet, this is going to be horrible for even this model. But let's try. But yeah, this will be my last test for this one. And after this, I will show you some of the examples that I've already created. I have created more than 65 examples, which will give you an overview of what each of these models are good at. So once this is done, which again is completely failed, I don't know why my eye is up and down. But anyway, please ignore FluxKontext, okay? If you're working right now, ignore this model, go with QwenImageEdit for local editing. But yeah, that's it. I will jump back to my presentation. Also, somebody will say that, no, you need to change the prompt for every model. I don't like to do that. For each of the model, if we have to learn every time different prompting technique, then I don't know. Then it's a loss of that particular model, because how can you adopt somebody to change their language constantly when you come up with a new model every 2-3 months? I don't think a model should do that. If the model is allowing you to change your language, the way you speak, I think that model is failed, in my opinion. Okay, anyway, this is not a character sheet. Okay, so I'll go back to my presentation. Now let's look at the use cases or the examples that I have created. Before we see them, a small disclaimer. I am only judging them. Of course, I have to give some kind of points to it. I am only judging them based on the prompt and image input adherence, but not on quality, because the quality I can always upscale, I can mask things. But in this case, I'm only looking for the prompt and input image adherence, because it will not be a fair comparison, because where NanoBanana and Seedream are using an API, FluxKontext and QwenImage are using my local computer. So always they will be at a lower quality than NanoBanana and Seedream. So this is how I am judging. So please keep that in mind when you see these examples. This is a really important test. Okay. So first we're looking at image generation. Now in this case, there is no competition. Seedream 4.0 wins miles away. Okay. So this one, the prompt is simple: parametric building, reflective mirror in a jungle setting. You can read the detailed prompt and really clearly you see how good the result of Seedream is in compared to the rest of the 3 model. So this win goes to Seedream. In the next example, this is of a city made of origami, and again the clear win goes to Seedream. I don't know, FluxKontext, the car is not on the road. QwenImageEdit did a good job for a local generation. Gemini was really good until Seedream came in. So in this case, Seedream clearly wins. Now in this case, I want a ginger and a white cat, which evokes calmness and is sleeping. I think the only cat that evokes calmness is the one from Seedream. I can really say that FluxKontext and Qwen gave a hard battle because these are not even upscaled. If you would upscale it, they would look nice. But I think look how peaceful that cat is in Seedream output. Again, the win goes to Seedream. Now in the next example, I want an exploded thali mid-air. Now in this case, QwenImageEdit hands to win this because the thali is exploded mid-air. For NanoBanana, things are just moved away. In Seedream, the thali is intact. I don't know where the thali in FluxKontext is. Then coming to sketch to render. Now most of these examples you will see from my FluxKontext video, but in that video I was using Flux API. So the tests might be same, but the output from FluxKontext are also different. In this case worse. And now let's see sketch to render output. And in this case, I'm saying this to be rendered with cotton steel, and you can really see how well NanoBanana and Seedream has made the cotton steel. I didn't like much NanoBanana. It looks like brush strokes. So the win clearly goes to Seedream because it understood the prompt, the image and the material. I don't know why Qwen has added images here, and I don't know why FluxKontext has added an extra deck. Now in the second case, the same input image with the brick example. Now in this case, the brick really looked good with Seedream, but it has added unnecessary lot of trees here. So in this case, I think the win should go to NanoBanana just because we see the brick pattern here, whereas in Qwen and Flux, I don't know what Flux is doing with the decks. It is adding its own deck constantly. So just because of giving the correct brick pattern, I think the win should go to NanoBanana in this case. And the next example is again the same image with shiny metal panels. And I think the win clearly goes to Seedream just because the way it is reflecting and having that shiny effect. See the reflection of the trees here, it is really difficult. If you have ever rendered, reflection is one of the most complicated things to get right in rendering. And just for that, the win has to go to Seedream. Now in the next case, I'm saying the same again input with concrete panels. I like the output from Seedream, but I don't know why it is tilted the deck and it has added so many trees here. Somehow Seedream and NanoBanana always overcompensate. They overdo their job. I don't know what they're afraid of or what anxiety they have, but they always overcompensate. And in this case, the tree is changed in NanoBanana, and just for that, I'm going to give this win to QwenImageEdit. FluxKontext things just constantly keep moving up and down. I don't know what to do with it. Like I said, it is really lacking. So this is sketch to render. Now let's see changing location, time and climate. Now in this case, I've selected one of the outputs that we had. And here I'm saying change the season to winter season with snow. And all of them have done a good job. I personally like this snow that is gathered here near the corner of the image. Adds more realism to the image. So just for that, I'm going to give the win to Seedream. In the next one, I'm seeing an autumn scene on Mars with trees fallen everywhere. Now both with NanoBanana and Seedream, I don't know why a lot of random trees have been added here, and with FluxKontext it is too red, and just because of that QwenImage wins. I feel like QwenImageEdit, because it follows the exact input image, has won multiple times in this tests, and NanoBanana and Seedream, because they overcompensate, have lost. Because I am not looking for overcompensation. I want you to do what I input. So that is why Qwen wins most of the times. Now in the next comparison, I'm using the same image in the desert setting with strong shadows, bright artificial lighting and LED deck lighting. With Kontext, I don't know where the deck has gone. With Qwen, I don't see the lighting. With NanoBanana, I see the lighting, but I don't see the shadows. And for that reason, the win goes to Seedream. Simple. In the next one, I am saying foggy mountain morning, cool moody atmosphere, LED light around the deck. FluxKontext did not do the LED lighting. Qwen and NanoBanana did a good job. I don't really know which Seedream. Is this the fog? It feels like you're using a machine and throwing fog in Seedream output. So that is why in this case, I find it a tie between QwenImageEdit and NanoBanana. Yes, I am too liberal. I have given ties as well because, like I said, I can't judge with quality. I can only judge with the adherence to prompt and the input image. And in this case, both of them did a good job. So both of them win. And then in the next one, the same image with Japanese garden, cherry blossom flowers, calm water body with koi fish. And these all are so good. These all are so good. Can I please go here? Can I please go? Anyway, the output that I liked was from Seedream, then style change. So the same images with different style. Now in the first one, I am saying Simpson style. My Lisp, please, it's Simpsons. In this case, we are going to give the win to NanoBanana because how the character looks similar to the Simpsons cartoon movie. Rest 3 not done a really good job. I did like the output from FluxKontext. Qwen and Seedream didn't do a good job in this case. In the next one, it's just dreamy Studio Ghibli style. I really don't know how to judge this, so I will leave this to you all. Tell me which one you like in this dreamy Studio Ghibli style. All of them have done good job to some or the other extent. FluxKontext, again, things move up and down. Why, man? Why? You also need dual encoding. But rest of the 3 have done a good job. So I won't be voting. This is for you. And then in the next one, I'm saying Art Nouveau style with flowing organic lines, decorative pattern and soft pastel tones. In this case, I will have to give the win to NanoBanana just because how over Art Nouveau is, and I like that this image is over. So over they kind of match together. So I think the win goes to NanoBanana. Then in the next case, I am saying Art Deco style. Although my favorite output was from Seedream 4.2, it kind of flushed the first floor with the glass. You see there is a cantilever or overhang on the first floor, but it flushed it. That's why it lost this one. I don't know what's happening with FluxKontext. Looks like some apocalyptic picture, but I like the output both from Qwen and NanoBanana. So in this case, the win goes to both of them. Now in this next style, cyberpunk futuristic setting with neon lights, I have to give the win to all of them because all of them have done a really good job, to be honest with you. It then depends upon your personal preference of what do you like. So either all win or all lose. I would say all of them did a good job. So I would give the win to all of them. Then in the next one, I'm saying brutalist monochrome style. I had really liked the output from NanoBanana, but I don't know why it tore this building apart. With FluxKontext, it did not change the material, so it did not win. QwenImageEdit is also nice, but I don't see the wear and tear. I think one of the aspects of brutalism that I really like is the wear and tear that comes of the concrete, and which is what I see here in Seedream, and that's why the win goes to Seedream. The next example is going to be the same input with isometric pixel art. Now in this case, NanoBanana did not do a good job. If you remember the chart that NanoBanana had showed, or the Google developer, they said that NanoBanana is not good for stylization, and that is true. In this case, I really like the output from FluxKontext because it has pixelated everything. QwenImageEdit has tried, but not done to the extent that I wanted. And the Seedream output, look at it, so good. It is pixelated, brilliant. So in this case, I'm going to give the win to both FluxKontext and Seedream 4.2. Then the next one was 1960 pop art style scene with bold outline, halftone dots and vibrant colors. In this case, I know that FluxKontext has moved little bit, but it is the one that follows the prompt. So FluxKontext wins. And then in this case, I'm saying Baroque oil painting. None of them did a good job. I see that Seedream was trying to add some Baroque characteristics to the building, but really failed. So in this case, none of them win. Now let's see some visualization prompt. So what I wanted to do, I wanted to use the same image with different softwares, aerial view, multiple views and things like that. So I'm calling this as visualization prompts. Now in the first one, I'm saying AutoCAD style. And I think all 4 have done a good job. You see NanoBanana overcompensating, saying front elevation museum building. Nobody asked you. Still, they will overcompensate. So I'm going to give the win to all 4 of them. In the next one, I'm saying Revit style elevation with technical annotation dimension. I don't know what Seedream has done here. And then the rest 3 have done a good job. In my opinion, they have, yes, text, little bit hit and a miss. So I'm going to give the win to all of these 3 apart from Seedream. In the next one, I said 3D wireframe view. And in this case, clearly the winner has to be Seedream because the building looks like a clear wireframe. I don't know what the output from NanoBanana is. Qwen did not try, gave something else. FluxKontext kind of gave the same result as the AutoCAD style. So in this case, I think Seedream 4 wins. Now for the next one, I said white clay render with soft shadows and no textures. Okay. Although I like the output from Seedream, it has added a lot of texture to the building, so I did not like it. With NanoBanana, I don't know why there is this green patch. So that is why QwenImageEdit wins. Again, with FluxKontext, it has added or retained the brick pattern. If it had not yet retained, we would have given win both to Flux and Qwen. The next one is going to be cardboard style. And clearly, none of them did apart from QwenImageEdit. The model looks like it is made of cardboard. See the edges, see it's like cardboard broken, there is no perfect joinery. Love it. So the win goes to QwenImageEdit. Now the next one is 3D printed miniature model of the building with white PLA. Okay. Now a characteristic of 3D printing is that you see those 3D printing lines, and just because of the lines that you see from Seedream 4.2, I am going to give the win to Seedream. With FluxKontext, these are not the lines. It is just copy pasted the brick material. That's why the win goes to Seedream 4.0. Am I a harsh critic? Not sure. And then in the next one, I am saying the same image, just small scale architectural model displayed inside a glass case. So I don't know, with FluxKontext, you see only the image added. I love the output of QwenImageEdit. Really good. I don't know what is happening in NanoBanana. The architecture is really changed. I also like the output from Seedream 4.0. I wish it has also added the overall context. So in that case, my win goes to QwenImageEdit. And then in the next one, this is a very random prompt. I had no idea, or I was not thinking of what output I wanted until I saw the output from QwenImageEdit. So this is a little bit of biased output, which I'm going to give to QwenImageEdit. And the prompt was make this image into a solid black silhouette. And I think QwenImageEdit did a good job. Then in the next one, I said ghosted view. And clearly, apart from Seedream, none of them even have tried to make the building ghosted. All of them have added fog. I'm not saying this. I'm saying semi-transparent shell revealing internal volumes, and which is clearly done by Seedream. So this win goes to Seedream. The next one is simple isometric masking diagram of the building with simplified forms and muted tones. And I think there was a tough competition between NanoBanana and Seedream, but I just like how simple the output from Seedream is. So I'm going to give the win to Seedream. Again, it might be biased, but whatever. And then in the next one, I'm saying vertical sectional cut through the building. All of them really failed here. This is not understanding the context. I don't know what's happening, but I'm going to give the win to FluxKontext because I see some resemblance. Maybe it has an underground thing. Who knows? So the win goes to FluxKontext. Now the next one is simple aerial view of the building. I think all of them did a good job. This depends on the individual preference. But when I was seeing the images closely, I noticed that Seedream eliminated this circular deck here. And just because of that, the win goes to the rest of the three. Okay. And then in the next one, I said turn building right by 90 degrees. FluxKontext, I don't know what's happening. NanoBanana, I don't know why it added this glass vertical slit here. Seedream, I don't know what it is doing. It's going to make the building fall. And because of that, the win goes to QwenImageEdit, because you see the overall building is rotated by 90 degrees. Although it's not 90, because if the deck is here, this has to be 90. The 90 has to be somewhere here. But I guess it's fine. It's better than the rest of the three. So I think the win goes to QwenImageEdit in this case. Then the next one is kind of saying zoomed out urban planning diagram. I don't know what is happening in Seedream. It just added this kind of random urban CAD drawing. I don't like the output from QwenImageEdit as well. It should have removed this deck and made it nicer. Then maybe it would have won. In this case, I really like the output from FluxKontext. So this win goes to FluxKontext. Okay. So these are some of the stylization prompt, and you see it's a mixed batch of result. Overall, from what I saw, QwenImageEdit and Seedream are really good for stylization. FluxKontext and NanoBanana are really lacking in this department. Coming to the next test, which is ControlNet style images. So I think I read in QwenImage paper, and I also read somewhere else that these models can generate ControlNet type images. So I was like, why not try that? So I used the same image. Now here I'm saying convert this image into a depth map. And clearly you can see only Qwen and Seedream have generated a depth map. So in this case, they win. The next one is a canny line drawing. Again, in this case, the win clearly goes to Qwen and Seedream. So if you're looking to work with ControlNet type of images, QwenImageEdit and Seedream will be your go-to option. The next one is a really surprising test. What I did, I said segment trees in this image. Okay. FluxKontext done something. Look how QwenImageEdit has segmented it. This is really amazing for me to see. This is one of the most surprising tests that I have done, and I was not expecting any of them to do. NanoBanana has added more trees. I don't know what it meant, segment trees. And look at the output from Seedream. It has also segmented the trees very well. So, I don't know what to think of this. Segmentation, we really have a segmentation model for it, and these models are able to do it. kind of blew my mind. This has to be one of the best and surprising result in this test. And again, the win goes to QwenImageEdit and Seedream 4.0. And the next few set of tests are going to be for changing resolution. This has to be aspect ratio, not resolution. But anyway, so when I add image, let's say I want to have it in a horizontal format or a vertical format. Can these models do it? QwenImage, FluxKontext and Seedream can do it on their own. NanoBanana needs an extra effort where you need to give an image like this. So you give it a white space, it will fill it. So that is why I did not think it would be right for me to judge any of them, because you need to do extra effort for NanoBanana. So I did not judge any of these. But in this case of converting into 16:9 aspect ratio, I think the win clearly goes to Seedream, but I'm not judging this. And then when I said again square, all of them did a good job. With NanoBanana, I had to input this. And then with vertical aspect ratio, NanoBanana clearly failed. And I read somewhere that NanoBanana is not a good model for changing aspect ratios. If you want to change aspect ratios, you can go with Kontext, QwenImageEdit or Seedream 4.0. Then the next tests are going to be for render to render. So I already have a render. I want to maybe change the season or things like that. So I'm using this render, which I did in Twinmotion. It's a super complicated render. And here I'm saying add rain to the render. And all of them did add rain while maintaining the design and LED lighting intact. I prefer the result from NanoBanana just because you see more rain in the image than the rest of them. In the next case, I'm saying change the season to winter. In this case, I don't know why Seedream has added more trees. Otherwise, it had done a really good job. FluxKontext has removed this LED light. So the clear competition comes between QwenImageEdit and NanoBanana. But I will give it to QwenImageEdit because it kept the internal ribs, whereas NanoBanana removed them. So the win in this case goes to QwenImageEdit. The next one is removing human figures. And I think all of them did a really good job. All of them won. They also won because they did not remove the cat. You see, there's a cat here, here. Here. None of them removed the cat. They only removed the human figure. That is why all of them win. I am super happy. Let's go to the next one. Then in the next comparison, I am saying aerial view of this pavilion. And I think all of them have failed. I understand it's a complicated or complex input image, but really none of them have done a good job. FluxKontext has failed miserably, completely morphed the geometry. Qwen, Nano and Seedream have tried but really failed. So if you have a complex result, none of these models will really work. If you are a parametric computational designer or working with something bespoke, none of these models are going to help you. Then we have something called as a box trick, where basically you add a red box. Generally, I prefer a red box, and then you say what you want to change there. For example, here in this case, I'm adding this red box and saying add human figures in the highlighted region, remove the highlighted region, keep the design, LED lighting and everything else same. So whenever you add a box, always remember to add this, remove the highlighted region. Otherwise, some of these models will do it but will also give you the red box. So it's very important to add this line, remove the highlighted region. A key tip by me, you will always remember. Okay. So in this case, I think the win has to go to Kontext, Qwen and Seedream. I don't know why NanoBanana added more humans instead of the cat. That really pisses me off. But I guess the win goes to these three, which is Kontext, Qwen and Seedream. In the next one, I'm simply saying add an aeroplane here. And I think all of them did a good job. Yes, understanding of scale, Seedream wins. But I think let's give the win to all of them. Can be a little liberal sometimes. Okay. And in the next one, I am saying in this highlighted region, add multiple tall pine trees. And in this case, only FluxKontext understood the region. Rest of the three, they have added a lot of trees than the region that was provided. So in this case, FluxKontext did win. Similarly, in the next example, I said add a water body in this highlighted region. Again, in this case, I think the win goes to FluxKontext. Because with QwenImage and NanoBanana, although they added the water body, I think it's become too close to the building. Like you can't walk around the building. And also I had specified the band till here. So I think they did not do a good job. So again, in this case, FluxKontext wins. And in the last example, I am saying add a text of their individual names tutorial behind the trees and also make a reflection of this on the water body. And clearly only NanoBanana wins here. You see the exact reflection of the text in the water body has come. That is really difficult to do. Seedream tried, but it's the same thing again in the water with just kind of a ripple effect. So the win goes to NanoBanana. Then changing the field a little bit from architecture to automobile. Now in this case, I made this image, I don't know from where, maybe using Flux inside of ComfyUI. and I'm saying convert the color of the car into metallic silver, and I think all of them did a good job. I really like the output from Seedream, but I think I'm going to give in to all of them. Really good job. In the next case, I'm saying convert the design of the alloy wheels to 6-spoke carbon fiber, and you will see none of them have done 6-spoke. Only FluxKontext and NanoBanana have at least tried to make carbon fiber, but this is a total mess if you zoom in the image. So I'm going to give the win to NanoBanana. In the next example, I'm saying keep the design of the car as it is, but let the car drive on a road surrounded by mountains. And I like all of the result. It depends now, is it going to be for your commercial of your car or what is this going to be? So I think I will leave this also to you guys to decide which wins in this particular case. So you can tell me, oh no, I like this. In the next case, I am saying change the scene to night with car headlight, side light and underneath light being on. And in this case, I think the clear win goes to NanoBanana and Seedream, just because having all the 3 lights being on. One thing that I noticed though, how is this pattern in the sky same for Qwen and FluxKontext? Are they using the same data? Also, the silhouette of these mountains are same for NanoBanana and for Seedream. I was like, are they using the same model? You see, let me go back. You see, the image is so similar. You can compare these two images. These two images are so similar in the shape of mountain, in shape of this galaxy. Really makes me wonder what are they using for the training process. In the next one, I'm saying keep the car and the road as it is, change the background to beach setting. Apart from Qwen, all 3 did a good job because Qwen has changed the road also to a beach setting. So I'm gonna give the win to the remaining 3. And the next few set of tests I'm calling as colorizing images. So I've taken some old architectural buildings which are never brought to life, and this is the source of that images that I've taken from. Now this is the first image where I'm saying convert this into Unreal style render made of concrete with trees, birds and people walking. And the clear winner has to be NanoBanana. None of the remaining 3, that is the Kontext, QwenImage and Seedream, come close. So the win goes to NanoBanana. In the next case, I'm using this image and saying again Unreal style render made of stone on a water body with people walking. I had liked the output from NanoBanana, but I don't know why it added random walkway here. And with Seedream, if the sky is this dark, why is the reflection blue? So the win goes to FluxKontext and QwenImageEdit. Yay to the open weights. Okay, and then I had this example where I'm saying made of wood with greenery on a rainy day, and I think the win has to go to Seedream 4. I had liked the output from QwenImageEdit, but it kind of distorted the scale. You see, some humans are so small, some humans are so big. So I think in that case, I'm going to give the win to Seedream 4. The next test is for text edits. So we'll see how they handle text. Now in this case, this is a complicated image that I had done with WAN 2.2. Now here I am saying you need to change the WAN 2.2 to that specific model and image to video to text tests. Okay, FluxKontext given up. QwenImageEdit, amazing job of even retaining this color gradient. NanoBanana, the A is gone. Image to video is still retained, so no. Seedream also did a really good job. So the win goes to Qwen and Seedream. In the next one, I am saying change this IP adapter to editing. This is one of my cover for IP adapter video while keeping the same gradient. And Kontext, Qwen and Seedream did a good job. I don't know why NanoBanana pushed it up. Maybe it wanted to see the entire image. So the win goes to these 3. In the next one, I'm saying, so I took a screenshot of ComfyUI page. I'm saying change the text from Comfy to Kedar while keeping the same font style and color, and clearly you can see there is only one winner, which is NanoBanana. I don't know what's happening in FluxKontext, why it has morphed this text. With Qwen, it did the correct text but did not take the style. With Seedream, it tried to do it but not 100%. So I think the win in this case goes to NanoBanana. And in the last text test, I wanted to see how it works with the random word. So I said hi exclamation mark 123 xyz at hash $, and this is the output. And really, in this case, we have winner, that is NanoBanana and Seedream, because these two did not do the entire text. Okay, so with text, it is a hit and a miss, but if you want one model to work good with text, it is going to be QwenImageEdit. Most of the time it does a good job, apart from something like this. I don't know. Again, these are all generated from first output that I'm showing. Maybe I tried multiple, they would do a good job. Now the next set of tests is going to be a non-design use cases, which basically means my face. Okay, so in this case, I'm using my photo and I'm saying change the man's shirt to dazzling metallic gold and black tuxedo. Don't I look sharp? In the flux context, it has shortened me. You see, if I take this line, it has made me short. So you lose. I don't know why Seedream has flattened. It kind of looks very blurry. So that is why the win goes to Qwen and NanoBanana. If I had to choose a suit, which would I choose? I think I would choose the NanoBanana. Although I like the color of this. So anyway, it's a combination of both of them. In the next one, I'm saying a black and white metallic suit. I think all four of them did a good job. I don't know why Seedream has changed my hairstyle, maybe from TikTok dataset, who knows. But anyway, I'm gonna give the win to all four of them because they did a good job. Anyway, in the next one, I'm saying change the background to beach setting with ocean and shacks. And I think again, all four did a good job. So the win goes to all four of them. In the next one, I'm saying evening scene with moonlight and stars. Let the white in the man's suit glow. Okay. Now, flux context is really dull, not good. Qwen, I don't know who this person is, looks really creepy. I don't know who this character is. NanoBanana, amazing result, really good. And the Seedream, why it is followed, I don't know why. Below my classes, it has given this white light, so the win goes to NanoBanana. If you are working with characters, NanoBanana is your answer. Don't look here and there. So I wanted to see how this works with magazine cover. So here again, I am using my photo, converting into magazine cover. So in the first one, I say convert this image into a super professional model shot for a modeling magazine, and look at the output from NanoBanana. How amazing is this? This is really good. I don't know who these characters are from Flux and Qwen. Seedream tried, but not good. So the NanoBanana wins. In the next one, I am saying it is a beachwear. And while all of them did put me in the beachwear, I think the really good output is from NanoBanana. Also, I love this shirt. If anybody knows where to find this exact shirt, please tell me. I would like to buy it. While Seedream just took the same photo, edited the glasses and my t-shirt and added beach. And I don't know why, apart from Vogue, Seedream, Qwen and Kontext don't know any other magazine. They always put Vogue. Always there is Vogue, while NanoBanana at least tries something else. So in this case, the win again goes to NanoBanana. In the next one, I am saying turn this photo into a musician and use musician's name as my name. And Qwen, horrible. Seedream, bad. How good is the output from NanoBanana? Really nice. I also love the output from FluxKontext. Very rare. Has 5 fingers. Zoomed in. Really good. This is really difficult to do. So I think the win in this case has to go to Kontext and NanoBanana. I can always remove this text again through Kontext and then add in Photoshop. So I'm going to give the win to Kontext and NanoBanana in this case. And then the last example, yes, we have to end somewhere, is going to be this. Reimagine this man in casual denim and sneakers standing against a vibrant graffiti wall. And clearly here the only win has to go to NanoBanana. Just because how natural it looks. With Seedream, I've noticed it does not change your face. Whatever is an input photo, it only uses that and then does the overall setting. With NanoBanana, it kind of really understands the spatial quality of an image. With Qwen and Flux, don't even go with characters. It's a very hit and miss. Okay. So in this video, we did how many total tests? We did a total of 71 tests in this video. 71 into 4, around 284 images I generated in this video. Crazy wild, okay? But in the test, I'm not including the changing resolution, which were 3, so we're not including that. So the total test came to 68. And let's see the final marking. Drum roll. So as per my tests, these are the results of all of these models. And I am as shocked and surprised to see Qwen and NanoBanana getting the same score. Trust me, I have not rigged this. I have not rigged this. How can anybody say they have not rigged in a YouTube video? I am not sure, but I have not rigged it. Most of the scores that NanoBanana got in was from the end character consistency. Otherwise, Qwen would have come second and people would have, I don't know, maybe got furious at me, but whatever. So clearly right now we see Seedream wins, with NanoBanana and Qwen coming second, and FluxKontext is really lagging. I would not say you to use it anymore. So this is Kedar's analysis, and from this I am going to be stuck to QwenImageEdit until another open weight model comes in. If I work with character, I would go with NanoBanana. This one, Seedream, I would just go when I want random something high quality outputs. So take a screenshot, share it with everyone. This has to be the most correct, consistent test in the planet today. Anyway, just joking, but with any of these models or all of these models, there will be some do's and don'ts, and these are some of the do's and don'ts that I have listed. Most of them are very similar to the FluxKontext video, where do's: be very specific as possible to your prompts. Make iterative edits step by step. Don't tell multiple edits in one prompt. Describe the image in your own words. Use clear and direct language, and use bounding box, the box trick where you add a red box and say the things to be changed here. Remember to in the next line say remove the highlighted region. Very important. In don'ts, don't use vague and complicated instructions. It will not follow. Don't push it to too many iterations. It will not do. It will break at one point. And don't use long prompts. Okay. So these are some of the do's and don'ts which follow for any image editing model. This also can go for Photoshop as well with its generative fill. So, and finally, coming to the conclusion number 2, with limitations, the first limitation is none of these models are perfect at first attempt. None of them. Don't believe the social media result. They always use 2-3 times. So none of them are going to be perfect at the first go. And this is the comparison of the good and the bad of all these models. Clearly, I would not recommend FluxKontext. It is failing really. It's wild with AI times. It's only been, I think, 3 to 4 months, and now FluxKontext feels like an outdated model. I don't know what to do. Okay, if you're looking for a local in-house model, go with QwenImageEdit. It does everything correctly, especially good with typography, stylization, and control net type images. If you're working with characters, or if you're working with faces or humans, there is no great model than NanoBanana at this time. But be careful, your images will be stored in somebody else's server, so that's something to be mindful of. And if you want high resolution images or want text to image, then go with Seedream 4.0. For me personally, I am going to stick to QwenImageEdit for the long time until, let's say, Seedream 4.0 open weights come in. Till then, I will be stuck to QwenImageEdit. If I have to work with character, then only I will use NanoBanana, while keeping in mind that these images might be stored somewhere else. So this is my conclusion. I know this has been a comprehensive video. It took me a long time to see how do I frame this and how do I put it out there without creating a confusion. And I hope I have not created a confusion. It really took me a lot of time to compile all of this. But anyway, that's it for this particular video. I hope you liked my video for comparison of FluxKontext, QwenImageEdit, NanoBanana, and Seedream 4.0 for single image editing. Thank you for your time. Please do like, share, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Thank you.